Hey everybody, in today's video, we are diving into the 5 biggest social media marketing mistakes that you are making in your business and what you can do instead. So if you feel like you are marketing to crickets, if you are not making the sales you know you could when you're posting about your amazing offers on your social media platforms, stay tuned because we're diving into how you can take your social media platforms and make money effortlessly off of them. If we are just meeting, hey, I am Nicole, and for the last 6 years, I have helped entrepreneurs that are running businesses, both big and small, to market their businesses and streamline their systems. So it's safe to say that I've seen a lot of different social media marketing mistakes, right? We all hear that myth that it's so easy to make sales on social media and people just slide into your DMs and say, hey, I want to buy from you. And you're probably wondering, okay, what are you doing that I am not? Because I just feel like I'm talking to absolutely no one. So today we're going to dive into what you are probably doing wrong and what you can do instead to make your social media work for you. And if you stick around to the end of the video, I am going to give you a simple 5-minute marketing plan that will help you streamline your marketing and do it in as little time as possible because I know that you have a lot on your plate. So the first mistake that you are probably making in your business is that you are just posting what you want when you want to. And it's such an easy trap to fall into because you're busy and you think, oh, I need to talk about this webinar I have. I should go on and do a Facebook Live about it. But then you get busy in your day, right? You're seeing clients, you've got meetings that you have to go to. And that just at the end of the day, you're like, oh, I just don't feel like going on Facebook Live. Or you have these excuses about, well, I can't go on stories because on Instagram because it's too confusing, right? So you're just posting what you want when you feel like it. And then you wonder when you post that amazing sales post saying, hey, I have this group program opening, or hey, I have this amazing online course that I built and nobody buys from you. Well, the truth is that you need to have a content calendar. And I am all about keeping things simple, y'all. So this can be as simple as a Google Doc saying, I am going to talk about this topic this week, and I'm going to talk about it in my Facebook Lives. I'm going to talk about it on my podcast. I'm going to talk about it in my email newsletter. I'm going to talk about it on all my social media posts, right? It's just making sure that everything that you're talking about has a purpose. And the truth is that to make this really work for you, you need to reverse engineer your content plan. So when I say that, you need to start with the offer. If you know you have a webinar on, say, confidence, then you need to have all of your content talking about confidence. So you can easily slide in those calls to action of, hey, I'm actually talking about this next week at this time. You should come join me because we're going to be talking all about confidence. It makes it really easy to do that if you reverse engineer your content plan. And a really easy, simple rule is that you want to give value 3 times and sell once. So if all of your content is just about getting the sale, then you're really not going to get the sale because everybody is going to not want to look at your stuff because every time you do, you're like, hey, buy for me, hey, buy for me, hey, buy for me. It just becomes like white noise. So you want people to see you as an expert. You want people to want to hear what you have to say. And the best way to do that is to give more value than you are doing selling. It sounds counterintuitive, but this is how you get people trained to come back and see all of the amazing things that you are up to in the world. The second mistake that you're probably making when you're creating your social media content is that you are not repurposing. And so when I say repurpose, I'm really talking about this idea of creating one big juicy piece of content, whether it is a YouTube video like this one, whether it's a podcast episode or a blog post or a Facebook Live. Basically, it's one piece of really great content that you can then use across all of your platforms. You can use it on all your social media, so you can link to it on your Facebook. You can create Instagram captions using some of the text or the ideas that you're talking about. You can link to it in an email newsletter. You can pin it on Pinterest, right? There are lots of different ways that you can use that one piece of content. And this is a really great way to streamline your social media because it means that you're not stuck on the content hamster wheel. And I think we've all been there. We feel like we have to create all of this really great engaging content, right? Because I said before, you need to give more value than you're selling. And it's like, okay, but I have to do all of this marketing stuff. And then I have to show up and actually do the work of creating the product or serving the clients, right? And it can be really, really overwhelming. So when you're repurposing content, you are working smarter and not harder when it comes to your marketing. The third mistake that you're making is you're not using a social media scheduling tool. And I know for a lot of people, they roll their eyes when it comes to this. It feels really overwhelming. It's like, you mean there's another step? I can't just go to Facebook and post my content. I can't just go over and pin something to a board when I feel like it, right? But the truth is that if you are in this habit of posting when you feel like it, what you feel like, and you're not using a scheduling tool, it's very easy to forget when you need to post, right? We've all been there. We said, oh, I really need to talk about this event that I am a part of. I'm part of a virtual summit. I need to share about that today. I promised that I would. But then you get to tomorrow morning and you're like, oh, no, I didn't do that, right? We've all been there. But when you use a social media scheduling tool, you take that out of the equation. They're really actually pretty easy to set up, and there are some really great free options. You don't have to pay a lot of money for something that's really, really fancy that you'll never use. So Buffer has a really great free option, and I'll put a link to that in the description. And if you are really Instagram heavy with your content strategy, which if you know me, you know that I am on Instagram way too much. Later is a really great tool. They have a great free plan if you're going to be doing a lot on Instagram. I really recommend that as a scheduling tool. But the point is that you are creating that really great piece of engaging content, you're repurposing it, and that helps you batch your content, meaning that you're able to create a lot of content in a little amount of time. And then you go and you schedule it in your scheduling tool. And guess what? In a few hours, your marketing is done for the week and you can go about your business. It is a beautiful thing. The fourth mistake that you're probably making when it comes to your social media marketing is that you are not consistently using the same branding, right? And so think about when you go to somebody's Instagram feed, you can tell the people who are really clear about what their brand is because everything goes together, right? The colors are consistent, the fonts are consistent, everything looks like it belongs together. It feels very intentional. And this sets your business apart from somebody who is just using their profiles for personal use, like just having fun with it, wanting to share funny memes, wanting to share like cute pictures of their cat and what they did last night and what they ate, right? For some of you, that may be part of your brand. For others, it's not. And when you are talking about selling an online course that teaches entrepreneurs how to market their businesses and you're sharing cute photos of your dog all of the time, it just feels a little bit awkward, right? So you want to make sure that you have consistent visual branding. Now, A great way to do this is, again, to use templates. You don't have to recreate the wheel every time. If you have a Canva account, and Canva is a free tool, I have the Pro. I really recommend, if you're going to be doing a lot of graphic design, creating a lot of social media graphics, that you invest in Canva Pro, but you can use the free tool to create templates. Basically, you use kind of the same format every time you change the text. You might change the photos, but that keeps it looking and feeling the same, right? It's very easy. Canva has a lot of templates that are built in. You know, if you say, I want to create an Instagram post, on the side of Canva, you're going to see all these really great templates that you can adapt and use for your own use. You can also go to a place like Creative Market. They have really great Canva templates that you can just buy. Somebody does the work for you. You just buy them, change your colors, put in the text that you want, and it's done. You don't even have to think about it. So these are really great options to streamline your social media, especially if creating graphics is not your thing. And let's just talk for a second about how people want to see your face. Right? I see a lot of the businesses that I work with, when we start to work with them, they have a lot of resistance over, well, why do people need to see my face? Like, they just need to hear about what I do. They just need to be educated. They don't need to see, you know, what I'm doing all the time. But the truth is that people buy from people. And they buy from people that they know and they like and they trust. And yes, they need to hear all of the amazing wealth of information that you have. They need to know that you're an expert, but they also need to feel like they know you a little bit. Like, why should they buy from you versus somebody else? And the difference is usually about your style, about your personality, about how you approach the work. And if you're not showing them who you are going to be missing out on sales. Now, this does not mean that you have to go out and have an expensive branding photo shoot, okay? I was in business 5 years before I had my first branding photo shoot, guys. Okay, you do not have to do it. Get your cell phone, get yourself a tripod, get a wireless shutter so you can click a button and it'll take a picture for you. You know, have your hair and your makeup done or whatever makes you feel good, and take some pictures and post them on your profiles. Okay? People want to see you, and that's also going to help with your visual branding as well. The final mistake that you may be making when it comes to your social media marketing is that you are not being consistent and you are not tracking analytics, and the two go hand in hand. So what I teach all of my clients, what I enforce with all of my clients that we are providing virtual support for, is that you need to do something for 90 days before you see if it works or if it doesn't, right? So a lot of people, they get stuck in they hit about day 40 or day 45, and they're posting all the things, right? They're doing what I taught you. They have a content calendar that's based on what they're promoting at the time. They are writing a blog post every week, and then they're putting that out via social media, via an email newsletter. They're going on Facebook Live and talking about the topic. They're doing all the things right. They're using a social media scheduling tool. They've got really great branding, and they hit day 40, day 45, and they go, okay, but I'm doing this and it doesn't work. Like, I did it for a month. Nobody's listening. I need to try something else. And that's where I'm going to tell you to take a deep breath and keep doing the same thing. Right? Consistency takes time. You have to train people to know that you're posting consistently. Train people that they need to check out the value that they're giving. And you also need to give yourself time to see what's really working and what's really not. So for example, if you have a podcast, if you pull like a really juicy quote from the podcast and you create a great meme and you put it on your Instagram, does that perform better than if you take a short snippet of the audio and create like a really short video with some captions? Like, what performs better? It's going to take some time to get that data. You can't just post both kinds like once and then say, oh, this performed better. You have to do it a couple of times. It takes some time. It takes some repetition, right? You need to be tracking those analytics, but you also need to take it with a grain of salt. But what I see too often is that people just post what they want when they feel like it, right? And then they're not looking to see, okay, people really like this or people really like that. This can also have to do with the kind of topics you're teaching. Do people want to know like the nitty gritty of like, here's a step-by-step on how to do this really technical thing? Or do they like this is what it is like when I'm doing this for a client? I'm gonna tell you a story about what's going on in my day. I'm gonna make it funny. Like, which do they prefer? Right? When you're tracking analytics and you're giving it time to get really good data, you are able to tweak your content marketing strategy. You're able to change the types of posts that you're putting out so that they're performing better, right? But you have to give yourself some time to do it. Now, I just threw a whole bunch of knowledge your way, right? And you're probably saying, okay, this is all really great information, but I am really short on time. And I need to know like how to do this very quickly and easily, which is why I've put together a really simple 5-minute marketing plan that's going to give you really actionable things that you can do every day in 5 minutes. And if you keep doing them 5 minutes every day, you are going to start seeing traction because they're really great tips, guys. So if you want to get this 5-minute marketing plan, the link is in the description to go and tell us where to send it because it's really juicy stuff. And I know that you want to simplify your marketing and do it in as little time as possible. So click the link in the description and get your free guide. And don't forget, I have lots of other really great trainings on how to streamline your systems and market your business with ease. So check out these related videos.